Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of most ages.
We are an uncensored comedy podcast
covering a wide variety of movies and film.
I'm Ace.
I'm Con.
And I'm Droid.
And we are
Movies for the People.
Consistent with it.
Consistent.
It just feels so good.
So you guys have no idea how many times we used to mess up on that.
Oh, you talking to the people right now?
Of course I'm talking to the people.
I know all about those mess ups.
I have an idea. Maybe the people were paying enough attention.
No, they definitely weren't because I cut it out every episode.
You know?
They were bad.
They were not good.
Very
I'm
flustered.
pretty sure we told them a couple of times.
Frustrating.
Definitely have. But welcome back, guys.
What did we go see this week?
What did we go see? Christopher Robin. People have been asking. They're like, when are you guys gonna do Christopher Robin? When? Now, motherfucker.
When Ace doesn't have a headache, we will go see it.
I forgot about that. That's why we didn't go see it.
It was worth the wait, though. I just got to give you a hard time.
Is that why we didn't go see it before?
That is why we didn't go see it before.
Well, I went and saw it early. Because I wasn't off that night. But then you were like, I got a headache. I'm like, oh, okay.
I do remember now. That was so long ago.
Should have just went. Pooh would have made it all better.
Pooh would have made it all
Pooh
would have made it better.
You just needed some honey.
Just a little bit of honey. That's all you needed in your life.
I guess. All right. So let's get into our spoiler-free review. What'd you think?
Here's my problem with this movie. Only a couple weeks back, I gave my top 5. My top 5 is going to get reordered when we do our top 10 of the year. Significantly. This movie was that fucking good that I have no problems probably even putting it in my top 3. If not my top 2. And that's a problem for me because I really liked my top 5.
I absolutely agree with that. I told you that.
I really liked my top 5. And now I'm going to drop some honey all over my my top 5 and smear it around and
Roll around in it,
sneak Christopher Robin probably into the top 2 come the end of the year.
It's going to be sticky business.
Into the top 2. Wow.
Into the top 2. I loved it that much.
Wow.
I feel like it was a life-changing movie.
Life-changing?
A week later, I put in my 2 weeks in my job.
What are you going to do? Nothing?
Well, hopefully the people love us enough and they can help me, help us, get this off the ground and running.
Hopefully.
Right now, this podcast is a baby. It's just crawling. I don't know if it's crawling. It refuses to crawl. It's that baby that rolls around. It knows it can run, but it's just like, crawling is okay.
And it just stretches. Stretches for things. It's like...
People help us run, but not in the athletic sense because we're all unathletic, but help us.
But I know a guy. I know a guy who runs. So
I know.
Do you?
Guys.
Yeah, I know a guy.
That's pretty cool. I know a few guys who run too.
I know a couple that
I think we know most
do
of the
some
same
running.
people who run.
You don't know my people.
I said I think.
I know a couple
you
of guys
thought wrong.
from the gym I see every
you
couple
see
of
them at the
nights.
gym, man?
See them at the gym, And I'm pretty sure they run.
Do they? Oh,
They look like the running type.
wow.
Do they just run?
They could.
Do you see them run?
Maybe. I think I maybe have. Yeah, I did. I seen them run at work when they worked for me.
Oh, okay. I just figured maybe, hey, I see these people running in the gym. They're runners.
No, I've seen them run.
Okay.
They got wheels.
Like a Hot Wheels?
No, like wheels.
Like a nice car?
Very nice car.
Oh.
Like 22s or...
I'd take them for a ride.
I don't know what that means.
You remember the handoff conversation from last week?
Oh, yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Handing it off.
Oh, my God. Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't run, though. So forget that.
What were your thoughts?
I loved it. Since I saw that movie, I've, in my head, and maybe to a couple of people, consistently called my boss a woozle. Well, my boss's boss. Because he is a woozle. Maybe even a heffalump. those are terms that I will continue to use in life because they're special. It was a good movie. It was a lot deeper than people probably expected to give it credit for. Like, at surface level, it was a great movie, but once you start getting into, like, once you start delving deep into things, like, holy fuck, this movie is so relatable, like, to so many different things in life. What I almost missed this movie. What? I loved it. It's definitely going to be in my new top 5. I'm honestly thinking it's just going to, like, Teen Titans Go, I liked, but I'm really thinking it's just going to kick it out the list. Just
Wow.
That's what
you?
I've been thinking.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Little old me?
Yeah, you.
I think it was horrible. No, just kidding.
I was going to say I think you're a fucking liar, but
it was great. I have a couple issues with it, but overall, an amazing movie. Amazing.
Can you dive into the issues without spoiling?
It's just one issue I have, and it was Ewan McGregor.
Why?
I felt like the delivery on some of his lines. I can even give the main one that bothers me. Like, every time I think of the movie, I think of this scene, and I don't like that I think of this scene. It was in the trailer when he first sees Winnie the Pooh, and he's like, "Pooh?" Like, the way he said it was horrible, and I just felt like the delivery of some of his lines in the beginning of the movie were not that good. But there was just a few parts in the movie that he was kind of, not so good. But overall, amazing movie. I think he did a good job. There's just a couple scenes where he didn't do such a good job. His family, great actors. Really, everyone in there was great. And the special effects in this movie were amazing.
yeah.
Pooh looked real.
I mean, you could see from the trailers that he was looking pretty good. It's funny though, because I have a friend. We have a mutual friend who's avoided watching this movie because they feel like they'll be creeped out by seeing Pooh. And I was like, I guess you're missing out on one of the best movies of your lifetime. But
I'm gonna need to know who that is
tell
afterwards.
you who it is.
I just don't understand how you could, like, avoid this movie. They literally have the same guy doing the voice work that's been doing it for
Yeah.
30, 40 years.
Unlike
So I was
everyone.
surprised why. I mean,
Just
I was okay
hearing
with it. I'm happy about it.
just hearing the voice in itself is, like, takes you right back to being a 4-year-old kid or whatever your earliest memory of watching Pooh would be. It takes you right back.
Definitely. I would also say that Eeyore was the best character in this whole movie. He stole the show.
I can agree with that.
He's just such a wonderful, just depressed loser guy. He's just so wonderful, though.
He really is.
Brad Garrett did a wonderful job voicing him and bringing him to life in that regard. But he's just so fun and lovable, man.
How do you feel about... I don't even really know what I was going to ask there. I was just trying to keep the conversation going. You go ahead, Droid. I feel like you got something to say.
It's really hard to say a lot about this movie without getting into the spoilers. Because there are a lot of, like, for me personally, there are a lot of things that I feel people can relate to, but I have to give specific examples from the movie. It's kind of annoying. I thought it was fucking amazing, though, so.
I'd agree.
Absolutely wonderful movie.
I say
Kind of annoyed we didn't talk about it earlier.
talk about this movie earlier
Yeah.
because it's such a good one. We had to make the people wait.
No, Movie Pass had to make the people wait.
Movie Pass did have to make the people wait.
By the way, so the theater we're at, are they even doing Movie Pass anymore? Because they wouldn't let you do you can't do the untitled showing.
No, you can't do that anymore.
I just canceled mine.
I canceled mine as well.
I'm about to.
I got fed up with when I saw their restrictions. They're giving you 6 movies to choose from total, and the theater is only carrying like 3 of those 6 that they're allowing you to see on the Movie Pass. So I was like, "Fuck you, Movie Pass! I'm out, man." $10 a month, and you're going to restrict me to what I can or cannot see. It's defeating the entire purpose of having Movie Pass.
Right.
I get if you want to cut me down to, maybe 2-3 movies a week.
Yeah.
Raise the price on me a little bit. I could give a shit less. I'll pay $15-$20 a month if you're going to, open it up and cut me back to 3 movies a week. I don't care. That's all I go to anyways. At the most was 2.
Yeah, I went to like 2 or 3.
3 on occasion. If it was a good kids movie, I take my boy or something. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it's been 2 since we started doing this shit.
Yeah.
And then they leave the price, which whatever, but completely restrict what you can see. Fuck you.
I'm just done with them. I canceled it, and they were like, "You can't sign back up for 9 months."
I'm like, I don't fucking care.
Fuck.
Y'all be under the fucking ground in 9 months. I don't give a shit.
They think they're going to make big moves.
Even if you are around in 9 months, I'll fucking sign back up then if you're worth a shit. But odds are, you ain't going to be worth a shit.
Probably not.
Sorry, Movie Pass, but fuck you. Not sorry.
Agreed.
I canceled mine.
I was holding out hope for them, but I'm just like, fuck them.
I was trying to, I was hoping they'd, see the error of their ways and go back to what they used to be. And I don't think it'll ever happen.
And because of them, we didn't get to see Christopher Robin when we wanted to. But hey, we got to see it.
When I was sitting in the theater Tuesday night waiting for you guys, and I couldn't use the unlisted or whatever, I was just like, all right, fuck you, I'm done. I was waiting in the theater for you guys, and I just canceled my shit right there. And they're like, they ask you why at the end, and I'm like, you restrict what I can or cannot see. You don't work half the fucking month. What do you want? You want me to just give you my money for shits and giggles? Nah, man. That ain't happening.
I just like that anybody... Did you type all that?
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I don't even care. It's not like anybody's going to fucking see it. I mean, come on. How many messages have we sent to Movie Pass about customer service related issues over the months? I know I've sent like 6, not one reply. So nobody's going to see this long rant about how you guys suck in restricting what we can or cannot see.
Right.
You know what? Whatever.
It is what it is. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
I was going to say that I love how people can go from our first episode to now and just see the journey of Movie Pass.
Oh, we loved Movie Pass. We were pushing it, promoting it,
trying to get them to sponsor us, and all kinds of shit. I mean, we were pro Movie Pass from the get-go, and then you just see the slow demise.
Here 4 months later, we're like, fuck you, Movie Pass.
So definitely go check out our first episode till now, and you can see the journey of Movie Pass.
Maybe skip the first episode, start with episode 2.
Watch the first episode.
You know what I think is hilarious about Movie Pass is how hard you guys had to push to get me to use it. And now you guys are done with it, and I've still been hanging on. And it's like,
there's nothing to hang on to.
Yeah. Not a damn thing. All right. Any last words on Christopher Robin?
It's amazing. Go see it.
I agree. I'm probably going to buy it when it comes out.
Buy that shit when it comes out.
Blu-ray.
And own that shit because it's amazing.
Watch it with your kids. Watch it with your parents.
Watch it with everybody.
With your boyfriend, your girlfriend, anybody who's important to you in life. Take some time.
Your family.
Learn from a silly old bear, excuse me.
A silly old bear.
It's got beautiful cinematography, amazing acting, amazing voice work, amazing special effects. Go see it today.
And every day after. Support the shit out of this movie.
I don't care if you go support the shit out of it. Just go see it. For you. I don't give a fuck about the company.
I do, because they gave us this wonderful joy of a movie.
I mean, if they're supporting it, they're just making sure the movie does well. You know?
The movie's already done well.
In our hearts, yes.
No, in the box office as well.
In the box office, that's cool. But now we need DVD sales. We need merchandise. I want to see another Pooh TV show that's as good as this movie. It's not going to happen.
You want them to sell out.
I mean, if they made a fucking Pooh TV show that was good as this movie.
If it was as good as the movie, but it couldn't go on too long, or else then it would start to wither.
Last time I checked, they were only at over $90 million.
Really?
Yeah. That was a few days back. So they have a whole other weekend under the belt, but 90 mil just pushes them over their $75 million budget. So
That's all that matters.
It's not doing amazing like it should be because it's a fucking wonderful movie.
I feel like it's doing just about what it should be. Right there at 90.
It should be over 100.
It'll get there.
It's that good.
It's a great movie.
I feel like it's interesting that you say that. Because there are a lot of movies, like, I know you don't care about the numbers, whatever. But there are a lot of movies that do a lot better. And you're just like, movie's okay. This movie is almost perfect in your eyes. And you're just like, oh, that's good. 15 mil over the budget is all right.
I mean, they're profiting, so I mean, they're
that's all
doing
you
great,
can
but
ask
in that
for.
regard. But I just think more people should go see it.
Yes. Go see it again. I think this is the first movie since we started that I saw twice.
Wow.
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 Wow. Wow.
Silly old bear.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, man. Remember Moose, that silly old bear?
Yeah, silly old moose.
I think I saw Moose yesterday. I'm pretty sure I did.
Okay. I think it's time for us to get into trailer talk.
Trailer talk. What'd you pick?
Trailer talk.
What'd you pick? 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 What'd you pick?
What'd you pick? What'd you pick? What'd you pick? What'd you pick? What'd you pick? What'd you pick? What'd you pick? What'd you pick? What the fuck you pick?
Did you pick?
I picked The Old Man and the Gun.
Looks good.
It looks pretty damn good.
I haven't seen the trailer.
It's got Robert Redford.
Who's retiring?
I guess he's retiring. I don't really know who that is. I've seen like a couple of his movies. I've heard his name. He's playing a man who breaks out of San Quentin at 70 and then goes on a bank heist road trip. And it's got Casey Affleck, that piece of shit. It's got Danny Glover, father of Donald Glover.
If only.
It's got also our new boy, Denzel Washington's son.
What's his
So
name
you're
again?
not just gonna say it. You're just not gonna say his name.
What did I tell you? I was going to.
You said his name before the podcast.
Yeah,
say
you
his
said
name
it
now.
earlier.
That's not on record. There's no proof of that.
Did you
Denzel
actually-
Washington's son.
You push record?
Why don't you fuck off?
Well, it depends when you push record. It could actually be on there yet somewhere.
It's got it looks great. It looks funny. It looks fun. It's got great actors in it. I'm excited to go see it. Yeah. Terrific.
It's good. I think it'll be good. Robert Redford's done a lot of movies throughout the years that have been solid acting wise and even better.
What's some of his bigger stuff?
The first one I saw was Sneakers way back in the day. I saw that at the Mandan Theater.
What's way back in the day? You're older than us.
Late 80s, very early 90s.
Okay. So we maybe weren't alive.
Yeah, you weren't alive yet.
Okay.
Way back in the day for me is like 2003.
Then there was Spy Game with Brad Pitt.
Kid anymore.
And The Last Castle with James Gandolfini. And a bunch of other dudes, but really fucking good movies.
Okay.
Really fucking good movies.
I need to see his face. I'm going to Google it.
He's been around a while, and it'll be kind of sad to see him retire, but same time, I think he's been at it since the 60s, so I think he's earned it.
Oh, okay. Okay. I've seen him. I don't know what I've seen him in, but...
Me?
What was your pick this week?
Little old me.
Yeah, little old you.
You're the largest one here. You don't get to be little old. He can be little old.
I went with Mary Poppins Returns.
Oh, there's a trailer for that?
Yeah, it's a little teaser trailer. You saw it.
Does a lot happen in it?
No, just enough to tease you. Just enough to get you excited.
You and your teasers.
I love it, man. You've seen Mary Poppins, right?
Not in a long time.
But you've
if
seen
I
it.
ever have.
You've never maybe seen it?
Maybe. I feel like I've had to, but I don't really remember it much.
I definitely have, but I was little.
Yeah, I would have had to be like a kid. I haven't seen it
Well, I haven't seen it in probably
at
like
an age I'm old enough to remember it.
25, 30 years ago. Would have probably been the last time I've seen it.
That's older than both of us.
But it's still, I remember it. Such a fantastic movie.
You were also at a point in life that was easier for you to remember.
I've met Mary Poppins.
Did you? Michael Rooker?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I didn't meet Michael Rooker.
Oh.
I just met Mary Poppins at Disneyland. I have her autograph.
Oh, I thought you meant the Mary Poppins.
Good for you.
Thanks.
Good for you. You don't know if it was the Mary Poppins. She was at Disneyland of all places, okay?
I thought he meant...
Don't try to kill this man's dreams.
You know? Mary Poppins. Anyway,
That's
you
Mary
get a...
Poppins, y'all.
Mary Poppins, y'all. Anyways, it's directed by Rob Marshall, who has done a few different things throughout the years, like Pirates of the Caribbean. He did one of those movies. I don't remember if it was a good one or a bad one.
I feel like it had to be a bad one.
It was on Stranger Tides, so I don't remember which one that falls in line with.
Isn't that the fourth one? Or is that the newest one?
That's the newest one.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Then it wasn't bad, if it was that one. The fourth one was the doo-doo one.
Doo-doo.
That was the doo-dooest of them all. He did Chicago and Into the Woods. No, not that one. Who did that one, though, again? I forget. Oh, that was last week we talked about that.
I was going to say.
Like we talked
the
about
guy
so
who you
many
don't
movies.
really like, but you kind of like because of his last movie.
Yeah, tolerate him after that movie.
Tolerate kind of like close enough.
Tolerate is not kind of like. Tolerate is means you don't like them, and
you can deal with them.
Yeah,
and I can deal with them. And I still watch his movies because I like watching movies. Like the Chirac one, I want to see it because I'm curious.
It's very artistic and interesting. It's okay.
This movie has Emily Blunt playing Mary Poppins. It's got Angela Lansbury.
Oh my god, his fucking face.
Yeah.
As soon as you said that, I knew, but I was waiting for it.
Yeah, he's got a boner. We know it.
Turn to the cat. Let the people see that smile.
You can hear it popping. Popping against the bar.
His fucking...
I thought you meant my boner. Yeah. No, I'm not going to let the people see my boner.
Oh,
It's
man.
mine.
God.
My body. My choice.
This guy.
God damn it. Angela Lansbury and Dick Van Dyke both reprised their roles from the original one, which is kind of cool that they're still alive.
Yeah.
Dude, Angela Lansbury is like old as fuck, and she's...
Yeah.
I mean, she looked old back in the 70s and 80s when she was doing Murder, She Wrote.
Was she Mary Poppins?
No.
Who was Mary Poppins? It was a famous actress,
oh my
right?
God. Who was it? I don't remember. I'll find it here. Oh, Julie Andrews played Mary Poppins.
That's who I thought it was. I
And
just couldn't remember her name.
She actually endorsed going with Blunt.
Of course, everyone. As soon as I heard that, I was like, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Comes out the week before Christmas. I think it looks fantastic just from the little bit that you see in the teaser. It's got me excited.
You didn't even mention the man that was in there.
Who?
Lin-Manuel, is that his name?
Lin-Manuel.
Lin-Manuel. Yeah, that.
Is he?
Lin-Manuel?
Yeah.
No.
He's in there.
Is he?
He was on the bike.
Oh, I didn't.
He's the guy who made Hamilton.
Well, I'm really excited about this movie.
And like the whole, soundtrack from Moana.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, he's great. Amazing, which means there's going to be some fire songs and maybe somebody's going to spit some hot fire in this movie.
I somehow doubt that, but
Don't you ever doubt that.
I wouldn't.
I do
I don't know
doubt
if you heard
it.
what I said.
What did you say?
I said, don't you ever doubt Dylon. Oh, references people aren't going to get.
A lot of people will get that. It's become a meme.
Yeah, but it's 2018. People just disappoint sometimes.
A lot of people do disappoint.
Not all.
Don't disappoint us, people. I swear to God.
You should know who spits hot fire.
If you don't know who
Five
spits
greatest-
hot fire, look it up.
5 greatest MCs of all time.
Dylon.
Dylon.
And Dylon.
Exactly.
What'd you pick for trailer talk?
I picked Slice, which is a Halloween movie that I did not know was coming out, and I found out today. And
When you say Halloween movie,
like a scary, like
it's a movie that comes out
like a
around
horror.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not a Halloween movie. Part of the Halloween franchise.
No,
Okay.
Halloween is part of the Halloween franchise. There's a Halloween movie coming out this year, so I would hope people aren't confused about that.
You know, maybe they're making a universe. I don't know.
They could make it a universe.
I mean,
it's kind of a
already got
thing
its own
nowadays.
What?
It's already got its own. I mean, they've got enough.
Why don't you talk into your mic when you talk?
They've got enough Halloween movies for it to be its own universe, where things just keep getting rebooted. The universe just restarts every 6 movies, or 1 in the case of this last one. I picked Slice. It is about a pizza parlor that was built on top of a portal to hell. It actually looks like a horror comedy. But I'm really excited about the cast of this movie because it's starring Zazie Beetz, Hannibal Buress, Joe Keery, who plays Steve in Stranger Things, Yulon Noel, who was he was in Purge.
Yeah, the drug dealer?
Yeah.
The karate action drug dealer?
Paul Scheer. And it's okay. That's fine.
Who's Paul Scheer?
You would see if I could show you his face, and you'll.
Just tell me some of the things he's been in. Oh, you keep naming it
He's
all.
a comedian. Look at his face. Look at the face. You see his face? No, you don't.
Nope,
The
I
screen
see a
turned
black screen.
Yeah.
That's me.
He's a black ass dude.
Oh, that guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, him. He's from The League.
And Chance Bennett.
Chance the Rapper?
Yes.
Oh man. You know what?
What?
I have not seen the trailer, but I did know he was in a movie like that coming up. I looked it up before and I had seen that. I am super hyped.
Yeah.
You ever heard Chance the Rapper?
I've heard of him.
He's a amazing rapper. He does a lot for Chicago. He is influenced a lot of music people to not sign to major labels because they rob these people. I mean, music labels have gotten rich off of predominantly black people
Yeah.
and not paid them anything over the last few years. And it's ridiculous. So he's trying to put a stop to that by not signing a label deal and showing people you can do it
Dude was
yourself.
making an award show for teachers.
He's making an award show for teachers.
That's pretty cool.
Setting
Because
good
teachers are
examples.
kind of shit on.
Yeah.
He performed at the Muhammad Ali tribute at the ESPYs too. And his own original song is amazing. Definitely check him out.
Dude's just great.
He has a song called Same Drugs. It's all about, it's like he uses hook references to reference old friendships and growing apart, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Great dude. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see him act.
I've seen a short film he was in
Okay.
called, I think it was either Smile or Happy,
Okay.
about a depressed guy who hires a hitman, and then he backs out, like a hitman to kill himself, and he decides he doesn't want to die, and then you gotta see it. He starts running from the hitman. It's good. It's a good one.
Well, the trailer, a bunch of pizza delivery guys die, and there's a werewolf, and Zazie Beetz is like one of the she's a delivery woman, and they don't show Chance until like the end of the trailer, and she like walks up behind this guy and like taps him on the shoulder. It's like, oh my God, what is wrong with you? And I'm just like, yes, this is and it's definitely like a throwback to like 80s horror movies. Look at that poster.
That poster is definitely a throwback.
It's gonna be good.
I love both of them. Oh my God, it's gonna be such a
Throwback.
I'm very excited.
He's a pretty good actor from what I saw in that short film. I think he'll do good.
That's good. I'm excited. We have to see that. Unless our movie theater sucks ass. And hey, it does.
That does sound like a movie they might not get unless it goes to like Netflix or Hulu or something like that.
We'll have to take a road trip.
They probably won't carry it. When does it come out?
October
Yeah, it's a
14th.
Is it the 14th?
I'm taking a guess.
Why'd you say 14? Like, it was just out immediately. Give me a release date. Give me a release date. It just says 2018. That's annoying. Yeah.
What are you looking at?
Get the IMDb app.
I'm looking at IMDb.
Are you?
Yeah.
Is it the app?
No.
Well, you should get the damn app.
Get the damn app.
Tell me what
You have a movie podcast.
We have a movie podcast and you guys have the app. So if it doesn't show up on your app, it doesn't matter.
I bet it will show
Okay,
up.
well, let's see.
Well, this isn't even the right movie. Oh, no. Yes, it is. And it looks like it comes out 2018.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
No problem. I'm going to say October 14th. Make sure to look in the theater near you October 14th for Slice.
When is October 14th? Do you even know?
No idea.
I was like, why were you saying October 14th? Is that just the day? Because
It's when it comes out, October 14th.
if it comes out October 14th, I'm just going to give you $5. We're not even going to make it.
You're just going to give me $5. What day of the week is October 14th?
Well, you lost because there's no way it's coming out on a Sunday.
You don't know that. They might put it on Netflix. It might be a Netflix movie. No, they would have promoted that shit.
19th or the 26th would be my guess.
Okay.
Probably the 19th.
2 weeks prior to Halloween. Also, it kind of depends on when Halloween comes out, too. You don't want to go up against that.
They might.
I think they can do it. I believe in them.
It'll just be two different audiences.
Yeah.
Movie theaters will love it. They'll be like, we're getting all the black people. And they're like, and all the white people are going to Halloween. It's like we're winning. Winning.
See,
That comes out on October 19th.
Halloween?
Yeah.
It's going up against them.
You just killed it for here, though. They're not going to do that here. They don't have enough black people.
You think they don't?
I know they don't. I live here.
You'll just start seeing black people come out the woodwork. Oh, man.
I don't know. I guess we can hope.
I think that concludes Trailer Talk, yeah?
I think so.
Go check these movies out, guys. They look interesting.
They look like they're going to be fire.
So,
Fire.
this week for Bin Banter, what did you pull out of the bin? You want to tell the people?
A shitty fucking movie.
That didn't answer the question.
It did.
What did you pick?
It was an answer.
The people want to know, what did you pick?
Who did it star?
London Has Fallen, starring Gerard Butler.
Your boy.
Yo boy.
His boy. How come I get the shitty people I don't like as my boy? And when he loves them, and I also get the people I love as my boy, but he doesn't get the people he loves as his boy, and he loves Gerard Butler.
I don't love Gerard Butler.
He loves Gerard Butler. He said it before on this podcast.
I like Gerard Butler's action movies because it takes me back to being a kid and watching action movies.
Well, guess what? You're not a kid anymore. You're
Always
a
gonna be
goddamn
kid.
adult.
Always going to be a kid. Never going to grow up.
God, I hate you.
Just saying.
Oh, man.
You ever heard that song, America? Fuck yeah.
No.
You should hear that song. That's what I heard in my head the entire first scene of London Has Fallen. I just want you to know that.
What'd you think of London Has Fallen?
Gerard Butler was trash. Interesting action. Horrible special effects.
Oh my God.
They were
Joe Miali, let me tell you something. You did a great job with your movie with a way smaller budget, I'm assuming, than London Has Fallen.
way smaller budget.
It was quite a bit.
Your special effects look 10 times better than his. And I salute you. And Gerard Butler, I know you didn't work on those special effects, but I blame you, you piece of shit.
He's a paycheck guy.
I hate him.
I know you do. That's why I was so overwhelmed with joy and excitement when you pulled out that movie.
Honestly, I was very happy to see that too, just because as much as you talk shit about Gerard Butler.
Let me tell you something. I was happy to see that just for the pure joy for our fans, you know.
I'm not going to lie, though.
You were not happy when you saw that.
No, our fans know I hate him. Our real
you guys,
fans.
if you are on our Instagram, you need to go watch that video.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram. What's our Instagram, droid?
Movies at, wow, there's the underscores in there.
Yeah, so what is it? You run our Instagram.
I don't run our Instagram.
That was your job.
No, it's not.
No, he's Twitter. You're supposed to be doing Instagram. Those were your words.
No.
You're like, my camera's fixed. I could do Instagram.
Oh, okay, we'll get
Let me pull out a droid quote like you always do.
Okay, I'll remember that. Anyway, movies
Underscore.
for the people. That's our
Or
Instagram.
movies for the people with a bunch of fucking underscores in between each word.
And it's going to be changing soon. But yeah, go on there, check out our Bin Banter where we pick out a movie every week. It'll be up every Tuesday night or Wednesday morning
Probably more like Wednesday morning.
at like midnight.
Yeah.
And now that I'm running the Instagram, expect a bunch of really annoying pictures of Ace.
Really annoying pictures of me.
Yeah, you're gonna hate them
Why? Why would you even do that?
because I'm running it,
If it's podcast related, sure.
and you're on the podcast, so it's always podcast related.
If that's what we're gonna do, I can do it on Facebook and put some ads behind that shit. I won't pay to promote that shit if you start doing this.
This is gonna be random ass pictures. You're gonna be eating some fucking cereal. It's like, have you watched the podcast?
Honestly, I wouldn't be mad about that. That's funny ass promotion.
Have you seen the first one?
No,
The
I haven't.
Olympus Has Fallen?
I didn't want to.
No. That one was... It was better. Much, much better than this one. This one's like... trash.
It's a trashy sequel.
It's a trashy cash grab sequel done very poorly. It almost belongs in the late 80s, early 90s type sequel action movie
So like,
category.
not even in the $5 bin where we got it, but like in the 18 movie packs you get for $5.
I thought the 80s had good sequels.
Not all of them did.
Like Terminator. Wasn't T2 like supposedly the best Terminator?
T2 is
Yeah,
the
but
best.
that's like one of the biggest movies out there. Like,
Die Hard. Isn't Die Hard pretty good?
Die Hard is. Die Hard 2, not so much.
Is it good?
It's better than this.
see, when you say 80 sequels, I think like shit you never really heard about that just happened to have a sequel.
It's like a Disney sequel. That's more like it. Disney sequels are trash. The only good Disney sequel has ever been an extremely goofy movie. and Twice Upon a Christmas.
I like the Goofy movies. They're fun.
They're amazing.
I liked High School Musical too.
I'm not talking about Disney Channel. Disney Channel is completely different, and you
okay.
know that. I'm talking about like Lion King 2, Aladdin 2.
First off, all the Aladdin movies were good. The third one was.
Aladdin 2 was trash. The third one's okay.
I liked all of them. You're entitled to your opinion.
My opinion is law, motherfucker.
Do you want to fight?
We fight over Aladdin.
I'll fight the law. In this case, I beat the law's ass.
That was Return of Jafar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. At best, I would say it was good.
The third one was better.
I never did see the third one.
With his dad.
No, never seen it. I was so turned off with the second one, I just never wanted to continue. It's just one of those that, I mean, the first Aladdin was spectacular.
Amazing.
It was a whole new world.
It was my favorite movie as a kid. One of my favorite movies. I had Aladdin and Jasmine.
Did you hate
Action
Lion King
figures,
too?
not dolls. Action figures.
Did you hate Lion King too?
I didn't think it was good. Like it wasn't like on par with Lion King. Like when you're Lion King, your sequel has to be amazing. Lion King is one of the best movies ever made.
It was until recently it got knocked off of the top of the leaderboard, didn't it?
By what?
I don't remember.
I don't know what's out there that's better than it.
There's a lot of things that are better than it, numbers wise too, but I don't think it wasn't that long ago. It held that top spot for
Name 5 movies that are better than The Lion King.
5 movies better than Lion King. Right off the top of my head,
Yep.
Frozen.
No.
Oh my God, you are a piece of shit.
Love
for that
Frozen. Are you kidding me? It's fantastic.
One. Are you being serious?
Yes, I love
Good movie,
Frozen.
not better than Lion King.
Oh yeah,
No.
that is a terrific movie.
No.
I watched it 1,000 times with my kids.
All right.
Moana.
Great movie.
Just in the
Amazing
last-
movie.
Just in the last
Maybe close,
few
but not
years.
better.
I would go with Incredibles.
No.
Oh yeah. The Lion King just doesn't have the replay value for me.
Incredibles doesn't make you feel like Lion King does.
It doesn't. None of those movies do. Except Moana, maybe. Moana does make you feel pretty powerful. Makes you proud to be a woman. Even when you're
nothing
not a
wrong with-
woman.
Can't ask though. Can't ask.
Oh my God.
I think you still have one more to name. That's
He has
Do
two
I?
more to name.
Does he have 2?
He said Frozen, Incredibles, Moana.
Toy Story and
Toy Story is the closest one, too.
Monsters Inc.
Oh, hell no.
Yep.
Hell no.
Yeah.
You need to go back and watch The Lion King.
I watch it at least once a year.
We'll watch
You
it
need
closer.
to go back and watch it.
No. Top 10, sure. Not the best anymore.
So disappointed.
You disgust me.
You just love it because people die in that movie.
Yeah.
That's all.
It drove the
But
story.
that's a very significant death. That's like he just
Exactly.
wants deaths.
I don't
in
want
general.
this death. And that's
That
what
is-
you keep portraying about me. That's the type of death I want. Where you're like, it propels the story. And it's like, whoa, his daddy just died. That's the type of death I want. Something that propels the story. I don't just want a bunch of people to die.
At the
Or
end
else
of the day,
I would have liked London Has Fallen.
At the end of the day, you just want people to die to drive the story. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Important people.
But people can drive the story without dying, Ace.
They can. But I'm saying I like it.
So you like people fucking dying?
Important people. Like T'Challa's father in Civil War. Great death.
I'm just saying you would rather have people die to drive the story than people to drive the story without dying. So you like motherfuckers to die in movies.
I wouldn't say rather. It just depends on the story. There's some stories where I'm watching movies. I'm watching them and then I'm like, hey, you know, Someone could have died here. Maybe would have made it a little better. But yeah, London has fallen. Two-Face, he was okay. Gerard Butler, garbage. Morgan Freeman was just in there for money.
You know what was hilarious is when we were watching it, and he's like, Morgan Freeman's not the president? Like, after
was he
they've
the
already-
president in the first one?
No, he was the VP then.
Oh, wow. See, that's another reason I don't like it. The better one, White House Down, actually gave us a black president. God. Switching it around. Giving us Two-Face as president. I don't want Two-Face as president. I want Two-Face dead. What do you think? London is falling.
He wants him to die. Just
Well,
like everybody else.
What do you think of Angela Bassett in that movie?
For like 4 lines?
She died right away, didn't she?
Yeah, she was gone pretty quick there.
She's better in the first
You mean
one.
Angela Davis?
No.
You mean
do
Halle
that.
Berry?
And Auntie.
Do that.
We had a long ass conversation about because I had accidentally called her Storm because like the internet always talks about her being Storm, so I was confused for a second, and I was thinking she was T'Challa's mother,
No.
who just looked like Storm. She was.
I know she was. She wasn't Storm, though.
No,
Yeah.
people wanted her to be Storm.
It would have never worked.
Yeah, whatever.
No.
Why?
She's too old for that role.
Not when those other ones came out.
Yeah.
She's not much older than Halle Berry.
Halle Berry was pushing the bounds of it.
Halle Berry pushes no bounds except.
Let me tell you something.
I was gonna say my NC.
I mean,
You better not. I'm going to tell Emily Blunt that then.
I don't go. Emily Blunt is a happily married woman. I just think she's very attractive and an amazing actress.
He gave you a boner earlier.
She didn't give me a boner. She never gave me a boner.
you never showed the people, so there's no way to prove it.
There's no way to prove that I had one.
We heard it thumping against the bar.
That was my knee.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Anyway, she's not too old. She wasn't too old then.
Yeah,
I would take her now as a Storm.
No.
Yeah, I think she would. It would have been dope if she was Storm. I mean, it would have been dope if she was Storm and she was with the original Black Panther. That would have been a cool twist that they could have put on it. And the
Yeah, I would have been
Black
annoyed by
Panther.
that. Just because people are so hell-bent on trying to get Storm with Black Panther. And it's like, they don't even last like that long.
I don't even care. I like Lupita Nyong'o. She is beautiful.
She is.
She changed the world for dark-skinned women. After the world saw her, they were like, "Oh man, we need to start putting more dark-skinned women in our movies." Think about it. Who was really dark-skinned getting roles before Lupita?
Wesley Snipes.
I meant
Dark
women.
as fuck.
I meant women.
Oh, okay, okay. You weren't.
I think he did play a woman once.
Did he?
You know what? I think he did.
Yeah, it was late 90s.
I thought you were talking about in prison for a second.
Well, he may have been too. I don't know. I don't know what kind of arrangement he had or didn't have while he was serving time in prison. I can't think of who else was in that movie, but yeah, it was late 90s for sure. Maybe mid 90s.
So I probably didn't see it, as
No,
a child.
I didn't. I don't even think I saw it. I liked Snipes as a kid.
But yeah, so don't ever watch. He did set the standard for
What
dark skin.
Yeah, what's it called though?
Tu Wong Fu.
Oh yeah, yeah. Who else is in it?
Patrick Swayze, John Leguizamo. I can never say it right. Leguizamo?
Yeah, close enough.
Leguizamo?
That just sounds dumb.
Leguizamo?
Don't ask me because I can't say it either. I say it closer to like what he said.
Yeah, those are yeah. So he counts.
But like I just said, don't go see London Has Fallen ever. Don't support that trash. Don't support Gerard Butler in anything except How to Train a Dragon. And yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was actually really disappointed in him in this movie.
You know, this movie did over $200 million.
That's great, but
Better than the first one.
Better than the first
Yeah,
one?
let
Then
me tell
I'm
you,
never, don't ever go see the first one either.
First one did 161 mil.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Change.
Because the entire opening scene, the only thing I heard in my head was America, fuck yeah. That's the kind of movie it was. America, fuck yeah. So everybody was like, hey, we gotta go see this. It's a true American hero.
That's Rambo. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
I'm just telling you, that's why I did so well, because it wasn't a good movie. Special effects definitely were trash. Like
They were.
The first explosion that happened in, like, they were driving the cars across the street and blew up the car. I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like, that was like Sci-Fi Channel.
Sharknado type shit.
At least Sharknado has a reason for that shit.
Right. But it's on the same level.
Yeah, it was not good.
With a larger budget.
A much larger budget.
Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like
this one only had a 60 mil and the other one had a 70.
Did the other one have better special effects?
Yeah.
The fact that you even said that, don't go see either of these movies. Don't ever go see a Gerard Butler movie again.
I'm not going to say Gerard Butler. Maybe he puts out, I mean, I loved Law Abiding Citizen. That was a good one. That's the last one I've seen with him. But
he is so trash. He couldn't even keep an American accent throughout the whole fucking movie. There's points where he's talking in his like just natural accent.
He was bad. The whole movie was bad. It really was. It wasn't very good.
yeah.
I hate him.
And also,
I know you do.
towards the end, there was one scene where they blew up that building and he and the president were in it. We were talking about that, and that whole scene makes no sense. Because
there's parts throughout the entire movie that don't make sense.
Right, but they should have died at the end of that movie because they blew up that building and the explosion is like larger than the skyscrapers that are surrounding this building under construction.
And they
for the
dodged
explosion
fire.
for the explosion to travel as far as it did, they should have died. It should have it should have destroyed the building, honestly. But no, they were good.
The way they jumped in the elevator at the end, they would have had to be running at flash speeds in order to dodge that explosion.
Oh yeah.
It was garbage. It was trash. It may be top 5 worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Then I've got movies for you to see that'll easily bump that way out of your top 5.
There's one movie I know of, and I can't remember the name. It was on Netflix, the worst movie I've ever seen. I tried to forget it. It had 1 star on Netflix, and I was like, yeah, I'll watch this and see how it is. It's bad. I'm going to find out what it was and come back to it.
I'd watch Breaking In and Skyscraper on repeat for a week before I watch.
That reminds me, somebody told me this week that Skyscraper wasn't that bad. And I was like, I'm so disappointed in you as a person.
Who was it? Call him out by name, first, last name.
I'm not going to call him out.
Is it someone that we'd know?
Yeah.
Both of us?
I think so.
Call them out then. You don't have to give the last name, but at least their first name.
Yeah, just their first name.
His name is Brandon. He wears sunglasses all the time.
From up front? That Brandon?
Not that one.
No?
No, the one outside.
Oh, little guy?
Yeah.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, I could see him loving Skyscraper.
Yeah.
It's like, my opinion of you has just changed so drastic.
Does he listen to this podcast?
I don't know if he has.
Well, Brandon, if you are listening to this podcast, you, sir, are an idiot.
Fuck. I didn't say
I'm
that.
not going to go that far, but I'm going to say you don't have...
Skyscraper sucked.
Shit.
It was pure shit. I can't even say that it's one of The Rock's worst movies, because I still feel like Doom will forever own that title.
Doom was a good movie until they had the first person
I know,
scene.
and that final, whatever, like 5 minutes of the movie just destroyed it for me.
Okay.
Obliterated it. Completely obliterated that movie for me because it was so bad right there.
Okay.
Just saying. But maybe his second worst movie ever.
But yeah. I was disappointed. Anyway, London Has Fallen. Just
We're done. We're done with this. Bin banter over. It's time for us to get into spoiler review.
somebody was unhappy. They made it really easy to abduct the president. Anyway.
It was very easy to abduct the
The
president.
whole movie is just filled with flaws and plot holes. It's a Swiss cheese movie.
One day you could fire a Stinger missile through, and they did.
You know?
Anyway.
Even from a sequel standpoint, it's garbage. Every aspect of it.
We're done.
Moving on.
All right, so give me a few scenes that you really liked in
I'm going to give you one right off the bat.
one right off the bat.
One right off the bat. When Pooh and Robin are on the train, and he's like, tree, house, cow, tree. And then Robin's like doing his work, and he's like, Pooh, can you please be quiet? And he's like, rock, tree. Like, that's a child right there.
Yeah.
To a T. That's how my kids are. And it cracks me up right to the core. Because that's exactly how it is having a child around. Like, if I'm trying to work on anything, or even if I just have a splitting headache, like, can you please be quiet? And I'll be like, yeah. And they'll just like keep talking nonstop, but in a quieter voice. Like, not what I meant, but thank you for taking it literally.
At least they tried. A for effort.
Thank you for being quiet. So,
Quiet subjective. So I mean,
what about you?
Okay, I said a few, but one is good. Me, I loved really the scene when they were like, you have Christopher, Robin, and Pooh, and they're sitting on that log. I just loved the visual of it. It was amazing. Everything in the 100 Acre Woods, they did so good at just making the 100 Acre Woods look beautiful. And
except for when it wasn't meant to be beautiful.
even then, it was like ominously beautiful.
They still did a great job with it, though.
It was great. It just made me feel like a kid again watching Winnie the Pooh, and I loved every second of it. And it was so cool seeing him as a kid sitting next to Pooh, and then as an adult. I don't know. I just loved the way it looked. The visuals in this were what I really loved the most. And Pooh's wise words.
He's a wise old bear,
A silly old bear.
but he's very wise.
He's very wise.
Very wise.
He's a bear of little brain.
What's your...
He said it multiple times.
Doesn't matter. He's very
Next
wise.
time, listen when
being-
Pooh talks.
He was being too hard on himself. He's got plenty brain.
I have to start with something that bugs me that I like, but I was annoyed with the neighbor. Dude was funny because he just would not leave Christopher Robin alone, but also I feel like he was just useless.
Yeah.
Like, we never saw the neighbor after. Like, he just really wanted to play Gin Rummy, and it was like, oh, it's funny. This guy just won't leave him alone. And the only reason Christopher Robin found Pooh is because he was hiding from the neighbor. But it's like, they could have done something different with that. That's money they could have saved. They didn't even have to hire that guy. So,
But it was a perfect reason for him to go hide, though, because he didn't want to be seen by the annoying neighbor that he did not want to play games with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't bother me that much because that's why he found Pooh. So it's like, and they didn't use it after that.
I don't know. I just have weird issues with using a person in like a very small role as a plot device. It just annoys me. But that movie was amazing otherwise. I loved Eeyore. Obviously, we talked about that, but I loved when he finally finds Eeyore and nobody recognizes Christopher Robin except for Pooh, which, I mean, probably speaks to how wise Pooh is. Like, he sees Christopher Robin for Christopher Robin. He looks him in the eyes and he's like, it's still you looking from inside. But everybody else, like all the other animals, Roo, Eeyore, Piglet, Owl, they all see what Christopher Robin has become. And to them, he looks like a heffalump, which, if you don't know, Pooh is like a flying elephant that steals people's hopes and dreams.
Which is what he was.
Yeah. But what's crazy to me about that, well, I mean, that's what he was doing to his daughter. So, yeah, it is. But I loved that whole the dynamic of seeing him change like that, because he starts out as this kid who's filled with wonder and imagination. And then he gets to a point in his life where he has responsibilities and he starts to lose that. And then he moves into, he goes to war and he has a kid and he goes to work. And you see him change completely and totally as a person. And I feel personally that a lot of people go through that drastic of a change. I think it would speak to a lot of people. Like, yeah, a lot of people don't go to war or anything like that, but a lot of people lose the sense of wonder they once had that allowed them to
just going through the motion of life.
Right. And it's really hard to rediscover that. And it was really important for him to rediscover that, because he was becoming what he had always feared as a child towards his daughter. And I'm happy that, Pooh found him and they worked that out. I don't know. It was such a great movie, and there's so much to dissect. I loved when he was trying to convince them that he was not a heffalump. It took him playing like he was a kid again.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, he hadn't played. Like, his daughter didn't even know what playing meant.
Yeah.
When the wife told her to go play.
Right.
He hadn't played since he left the 100 Acre Woods the first time.
Because he went to boarding school,
Right.
and it was so
Dad
strict
died.
there. Dad died, and just kind of
He had to
set
become
on a
the man
path.
of the house.
He had to
Right.
become the man of the house at such an early age, and then
But what I think was crazy to me, symbolically, and I mean, this is how I take it, is that, they couldn't see him as Christopher Robin because he had become, in essence, a heffalump. And there's a scene of him trying to convince them by playing. And at the end, he vanquishes the heffalump that nobody ever actually saw, and comes back and they see Christopher Robin. So it's like almost getting rid of that part of himself that made it hard for them to recognize who he was, because after that point he was a completely different person. I mean, yeah, he had to go to work to attend his meeting, try to stop people from getting laid off, but when he's on the train, he's playing the game that Pooh is playing, car, tree, dog. I think that was a very significant moment, and I feel like if you're not really looking, you don't see that. And I think it was very well done, because something done at the surface level that's really, like, that was a very fun scene in and of itself, but is also extremely important. So that's probably the biggest one for me, I think.
Yeah. I loved the workers in the
shop.
They were nosy as fuck.
The one guy, I've seen him in so much. I don't know what his name is, but his face was so droopy. He looked like the dog from those old cartoons. Like,
When you did that, I kind of saw who you're talking about.
exactly.
Droopy?
Was that his name,
I
Droopy?
think so.
Yeah, he looked like him, and he just walked around. He didn't say a single word throughout the whole thing. Just walked around looking like that. I loved him. Those are the perfect characters. The ones that don't say anything, but they're just there, and they just add so much.
You know
to
what
their
scene
presence.
I also liked was when they're trying Eleanor. Is that the daughter's name?
I don't remember.
I think it was Eleanor. Eleanor has the gang from the 100 Acre Woods, and they're trying to get to Christopher Robin, and they're in the taxi. Madeline. Okay, thank you.
Evelyn is the wife.
Evelyn. Okay, Madeline. Madeline is trying to get to Christopher Robin, and they're in the taxi. And the taxi driver, Tigger is losing his shit.
Picker.
Tigger is losing his shit because he saw his reflection and thinks there's a false Tigger. Yeah. He's like, there's an imposter. He's like ready and raring to fight. Madeline's trying to hold him back. And the taxi driver ends up crashing. And he tries to report her to the police. And he's like, oh, you wanna report this little girl in the dollies, huh? And he's like, there's something spooky going on with them. And like, as she's walking away, Tigger? No, Eeyore's like, Piglet. It's like, thank you. And they all just stare. And the taxi driver's like, what did you saw it, didn't you? You did. The peace officer's like, no, you didn't. You didn't see anything. I fucking love that.
Did you recognize the guy selling the newspapers at all?
No.
He looked familiar, but I don't know what he's from.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Who was he?
The guy with the eye.
Oh, yeah. I see that now.
Which guy with the eye?
There was only one guy with the eye.
I thought they shared it.
No. It was always popping out.
Oh.
Okay.
He held on to it. He was the keeper of the eye.
Okay.
You don't remember the guy with the eye popping
I
out?
thought he shared it with the bigger guy.
No, that guy had two eyes.
Okay.
You're thinking of Hercules. All those
No.
witches, they share the eye.
No, I know the Fates.
You're
share
thinking
one
of
eye.
Thor and
They're called the
Infinity War
Fates. I know what they.
Okay, whatever.
when Rocket gave him the eye.
But I have a question for both you guys.
Okay.
Christopher Robin or Hook?
Fuck you. Christopher Robin. I have to. I loved Hook, but I feel like Christopher Robin was.
God damn, man.
Hang on. Give me your reason of why Christopher Robin
I just
over Hook.
identify with Chris. Like, I love Hook. Like, amazing. I just feel like Christopher Robin, I identify with more than Hook. And maybe if I went back, I haven't seen Hook in a long time, you know, maybe if I went back and looked at Hook the same way I looked at Christopher Robin, because, you know, I didn't think on the same level that I think now when I last saw Hook. So maybe I'd see those parallels between, you know, our lives and the way things change.
That is probably something I'll give this movie credit for, is they kind of explained why Christopher Robin got like that better than Hook explained why Peter Pan got like that.
Right.
It's probably the same stuff, but I think they just did a better job of explaining it.
It really is the same stuff. You know, he grew up. He had that career as well, and he just kind of forgot who he was. That kid in him essentially died.
1 second. By the way, we're also not... Have you seen Finding Neverland?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either, because this is from the same director.
Right.
So I haven't seen that, so we're not going to talk about it. Neither has Droid. If you want to bring it up, you can hear more than
Finding Neverland is completely different. It's the story, but it's more of the writer than it is Hook and Pan and all that.
Oh, it's a writer? Okay.
It's very different. It's not anything like Hook is.
Okay.
Hook and Christopher Robin are more comparable
Okay.
than comparing Neverland to Christopher Robin.
By the way, I still want to see the other Winnie the Pooh movie coming out.
There's another one, which is animated.
No, it's about the creator.
Oh,
It's got that redhead dude that's been killing it and like everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've seen that one yet.
It looks like it's. I think it might already be out. I don't know. I remember seeing trailers for it. It looks good.
Anyway, they're kind of the same character. You know, they both grew up.
Definitely.
They took different paths, you know, due to different generations. But essentially, they both became, you know, more about their job than anything. They had their, you know, I'm sure they had their reasons for being about the job, you know, whether it's supporting their family, making sure they have a roof over their head, you know, food on the table, things like that. But both characters along the way kind of forgot who they were.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, everything like that. And for me, that's something I can relate to because of my old job, you know.
So which one are you picking?
your boss was a woozle.
I think that's insulting to woozles.
I've thought about calling him a woozle on my last day. What's he gonna do?
I gotta be honest, as much as I love Hook, I'm gonna have to say Christopher Robin, man. I mean, Hook is one of my top 3 Robin Williams movies.
It's my Robin Williams movie.
You know, that, Jack, and Patch Adams would be my 3. And yeah, I would have to say it's probably 1, Patch 2, Jack 3 for me.
So,
But I would say Christopher Robin. If I had to choose between the 2 and I could only watch 1 for the rest of my life,
why?
well, that's what I'm choosing. That's what I would choose. I would choose Christopher Robin.
Why?
I just said
Just
why.
give a whole explanation of why.
I just gave a whole explanation. Haven't you been paying attention?
What was his explanation?
About how they all grew up, forgot who they were.
Yeah,
No,
that's how they're both similar.
They're both similar.
But why?
I can relate to both of them in that regard.
But why would you choose Christopher Robin over Hook?
I think just the way that Pooh, I think just having Pooh, you know, having that there, taking it. I mean,
He's a silly old bear.
he's a silly old bear, but you have those voices that have been there for 40 years, 4 decades, you know. Hook didn't have that. It didn't have, you know, that sort of a thing where it just takes you back. You know, you probably have seen the Peter Pan movie way back in, you know, your younger days.
Mm-hmm. A lot of times.
You know, and it's a wonderful movie. You know, Hook is a wonderful movie. It has a powerful message, you know. And once he finds himself, he finds his family, and, you know, he brings his son Jack back to the light. It's just, I think just the powerful message, man. The life lessons that they have, you know, deeply embedded within the movie. And then having, who is it? He does the voice. Jim Cummings. He does Tigger and Pooh both. You know, I said earlier that Brad Garrett did the voice of Eeyore, and he did a fantastic job delivering that. And it just takes you right back to your childhood, you know?
Yeah.
Takes you right back. Plus, it's a absolutely wonderful movie. I think that McGregor did a great job as Christopher Robin. I don't see the point that you had with his.
Yeah, I didn't really. I mean, I get like when you say. It wasn't like Pooh. It was like Pooh.
Yeah.
You know, because he in Christopher Robin's, mind, Pooh doesn't exist. But there he is right there before him. It's like, did he have a breaking point? Did he finally snap? As he lost his mind? But there he is, right there before him, And then he found himself along the journey.
I'm going to say Hook.
Why? Because they had a Rufio? Was that what it?
Rufio was great. I mean, Rufio was an amazing character. For one, I feel like this one did a great job, but it's also building off nostalgia. I feel like Peter Pan didn't really have, like, they had the Lost Boys, but we had, like, the animated movie. That's all we really had. There was the book, and the books, I don't know how many.
That's all you really had for Pooh.
There was Pooh, there was so much. Movies, TV shows.
But they all blend together.
But what I'm saying for Hook is, they built these characters like Rufio. It has so many different quotables. The whole story with Captain Hook, like stealing his son, it was amazing. I thought that was great. And then him trying to convince him that he's his dad. And then they kind of had that same scene like they had in Christopher Robin, where he's, they had the food fight scene instead of the heffalump scene. I thought that was a great scene from Hook. It's just so good, and I feel like they're not building off the nostalgia. It was great on its own.
And that might be because there's 25 years between each movie? 20 some years?
Between each what?
Between Hook and
Peter Pan?
No, and
Christopher Robin? Yeah.
Different generations, different approaches to movies. But I mean, because you're right. I mean, we only had Peter Pan, the movie, the animated movie.
Yeah.
There wasn't much more.
And I feel like this didn't play off any of that. Hook as a movie didn't really play off.
It was more of its own thing.
Movie, yeah.
It was just, you knew the
story of
Peter Pan, and this is grown up Peter Pan, and this is what he'd become.
I just feel like they did such a good job.
I get what you're saying. I dig it.
It was such an original movie back in the day.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it'll hold its place. Now, Christopher Robin definitely has things they did a lot better as far as like the cinematography. Like this was such a beautiful movie.
But again, that's 20 years difference.
Yeah.
And they did a phenomenal job with this movie. I mean, you said it, just how real everything looked, how real, Pooh looked, Tigger, Eeyore, Piglet, all of them.
I think even if they made Hook today, it wouldn't have had the cinematography that Christopher Robin had. It was just immaculate. It's been a while since I've seen a movie that looked that good.
Yeah. I got you. I get what you're saying.
But I'm going to give it to Hook over Christopher Robin. But still, Christopher Robin, amazing movie.
It is, man.
Go see it.
Go see it. I mean, the cinematography, terrific. The CG, the acting, all the way throughout. I mean, it's just all of it.
One thing, too. Evelyn, that was his wife's name, right?
Yeah.
Best actor in the movie. She was amazing.
Haley Atwell?
Yeah.
Really?
She did a great job.
I felt frustrated for her when she was pissed off at Christopher Robin.
You could feel the emotion coming off of her, and I was like, okay, this is good. This is good right here.
She didn't need to yell to get her point across,
No, it was just right there, She was fed up with what Christopher Robin had become.
She did a great job. What would you give it out of 5?
Out of 5?
Out of 5.
4.75.
4.7.
I was going to say a really high 4. I don't know where in there.
I'd also give it like a 4. Maybe 4.5. Probably 4.
It's teetering towards a 5, but I feel bad about giving anything a 5 because that just means it's perfect.
I think it was really good. I'm not gonna. I don't feel. Yeah, it's a solid 4 for me. Solid 4. But as far as rent it, buy it, or wait for Netflix,
Buy it.
buy it.
Hands down. Buy it.
You will not be disappointed.
No. It'll teach you a few things.
Unless you're heartless.
Unless you hate people doing nothing and you just all about work, then you're gonna hate it.
And then you're a heffalump or a woozle.
Yeah.
And you should not be either one of those things. They're not good.
Unless you want to be, it's 2018. You can be anything you want to be.
You can, but you shouldn't. Not heffalumps and woozles.
All right. I think this concludes this week's episode of Movies for the People.
All right. Well, this has been Movies for the People. Unfortunately, with this outro, I've got nothing.
Well, sometimes the most wonderful somethings come out of having nothing.